attendance. No, I'm just kidding. You started recording? Okay. How many of you have to head out to a football game? 2 of you? 3 of you? Okay. So I'll try to get 4 of you. All right. So I'll try to get to the meat of it in the front, and then I like all the stuff that is new, and then we'll get to the other stuff, and then you can head out if you need to head out early. First of all, my name is David Galindo. I'll be the head coach for the boys middle school team. If you're not here for middle school soccer, that's your chance to step out. And then we have Coach Chris Rasmussen. He's the assistant coach, Coach Chris. And then we have Mr. Jason Cole. He's the soccer director at North Bay Haven. He's in charge of all the soccer teams, boys and girls. You probably already have seen his name somewhere. He's a very popular guy. Anything you want to say?
Not yet.
Okay. So we'll jump right in. This meeting is just to kind of give you what to expect as tryouts are coming out. I'm going to focus on that, and then also I'll talk a little bit about what a typical season looks like for some of the players that are signing up for the first time. Okay, so we'll talk about the coaches, tryouts. Anything you see in yellow, it means there's an action that you have to do, so pay attention to that. And then anything that says new in parentheses for the returning players, that's going to be new this year, so pay attention to that because it's not going to be the same as last year. Okay, so about the coaches, I've been coaching rec soccer for 10, 11 years now, since U4. For my side hustle, I do engineering at the Navy base. That's a joke. I have one child. Where's Mateo? He's trying out for the team. And I've been coaching 3 years here at North Bay Haven. 1 as an assistant and 2 as a head coach. You have my cell number there in case you need to text me for anything. And then Coach Chris, he's volunteer coach. He has previous coaching experience. He works at the Air Force Base. So you have 2 engineers who are very nerdy. They're doing all this soccer stuff, okay? So we calculate every step that your kid takes. He's working towards his D license, and his contact number is there. Some fun facts about us. My favorite team is Miami and AC Milan because of Messi and Pulisic. I play the guitar. I teach at church. I have my own YouTube channel, which I'll show you in a few minutes. So like and subscribe. Help me get 100 subscribers. I play video games, Rocket League, Brawl Stars, and Baldur's Gate 3. And then Chris, he likes...
I say I don't have any free time to play video games.
He just likes history and space enthusiasts. Yeah. And he likes teams that make him cry. So he picks St. Louis and Tottenham.
The ones that disappoint me every time.
Okay. All right, so soccer tryouts. Soccer tryouts are going to start October 10th. So mark that on your calendar. They're going to be running through for about a week at the practice fields. That's behind kind of like the softball fields, the tennis courts there. If you cannot attend the tryouts during that time, let me know, and we'll coordinate something. But I really need the players. You guys need to make a commitment to kind of make that time from the 10th to the 18th. Tryouts will be from 3:15 to 5 or until dark, depending on how dark it's getting. There's no lights in the back. So players, be ready to play at 3:15. That's going to be your first test and commitment to the team. Okay, so if you're showing up at 3:29, you don't have any gear on, right? That already shows me something. Okay, so if you want to try out for the team, you beeline it after class, and you don't talk to your friends, none of that. You just get ready. You're warming up at 3:15. Okay, so that's one of the things I'll be looking for. Those of you that are here, you're going to have that advantage because you know that now. You're going to bring water, soccer cleats, and shin guards. That's going to show responsibility. If I come in, I say, hey, go drink some water, and you're like, I didn't bring any, again, you're telling me something, right? You're not ready for responsibility. So bring all your gear. Oh, I forgot my gear. My mom didn't put it in my bag, right? Is your mom trying out for the team? No. So you guys need to do that, okay? Something new this year. We're going to try to have a middle school A and B team. This is the first time we're doing this in maybe in a while. I don't know, since I've been here. So um, in the past few years, we've had at least 30 kids try out. This year, we're probably going to get more than that. And so instead of cutting, 10 to 12 kids, now we're going to form a B team, okay? So we're going to have middle school A, middle school B. This year, we're going to be playing all the local schools in the area, so we don't have to drive an hour and a half anymore. You kids come back like at 11 p.m., so that's good. All the games are going to be at 4 p.m., and we're going to play all the local schools, the Merritt Browns, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. And then the B team, if your child makes the B team, you'll be playing all the B teams of the other schools, okay? So last year, I think there was 4 teams, so we will be the 5th team, and there will be those will be scheduled a little bit differently. And then they'll have their own coach. They'll have their own dedicated coach, and I'll be coaching separately the A team, okay? So there's a couple options to join and participate. Why we're doing that is because we want to encourage. This is the first time they're competing, a lot of 6th graders or first-time players. So we don't want to be like, hey, don't ever compete again if you don't make the team, right? We want them to compete, and so this will motivate them to in the off season, go to Callaway or Roots or Bay United or BCYSA. Just kind of keep that soccer going, okay?
Just a quick show of hands. Who has played either rec soccer or travel competitive soccer? Raise your hand. Okay, so mostly everybody. So what about if I'll say never played soccer before? Hey, that's always good. You beat the boys last year.
All right. So due to JV tryouts, our soccer tryout decisions won't be made to the following week. So, but no later than October 20, I'm going to make a decision there. That's no later than. I'm going to try to get that even earlier than that. But that's when you'll know if your child made the team, either A or B, or Team C, right?
Hey, I'll take them all.
All right. Team practices will be, we're going to practice every day, Monday through Friday, 3:15 to 5. The pickup locations are going to be announced in the app. So if you don't have the app right now, the SportsU app, before you leave, make sure you talk to Linda, raise your hand, my wife, sorry. Linda, Jason, or myself, or Coach Chris. You need to get on the app because that's how we communicate all future information. There will be a mandatory meeting after your kid makes the team. So you're not on the team until you attend that mandatory meeting. All right? So make sure you attend that meeting.
Hey, real quick, just so everyone's clear, trying out for JV is by invite only. So we're going to go off in numbers for varsity and JV for both girls and boys. And if we've got a full roster of JV, if we've got 20 kids trying out for just JV, we may not pull anyone up from middle school. Once you get pulled up to JV or varsity, you cannot play again in middle school. So that you're done for the season. So I just want to kind of level that out real quick. I have no idea what our numbers will be for JV and varsity. If we have to pull 5 up to make the team, then that's what we'll do, but it'll be by invite only.
Okay. So for the YouTube video, invite only for JV tryouts. All right.
So I noticed on those tryout days, like 2 of those days, like we don't have school.
Yes.
Yep.
And is that, it still goes?
Yes.
Yes.
So for those 2 dates, I need to talk to my supervisor, but since the kids don't have schools, what we did last year is we kind of had like a mini camp where we did indoor soccer, outdoor soccer, tennis, soccer. We fed them lunch. We did video, just kind of a lot of things that maybe they didn't get at rec soccer, so they can kind of even a little bit, so we may do some of that this year. But of course, doesn't count against you. So if you can't make it Monday and Tuesday, it doesn't count against you. But it's just an opportunity. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Continuing with soccer tryouts. Again, you see text in yellow. You need to do this. If you haven't already, you have to have your physicals completed and submitted to Mr. Jason Cole. And you have to have taken your video courses. Those are the 3 video courses you need to take. All that needs to be submitted. If you don't have physical and certificates, then you can't try out. So get that done if you don't have that already soon. The good thing is if you do this for soccer, that counts for all the other sports that your kid's going to try. So once you get in the system, that lets you participate in any other sports. Then students must maintain high GPA, okay, C or higher. You will get removed from the team. We had that happen because you didn't have good grades, all right? So kids, do good in school, all right?
I'm gonna, real quick, that is the minimum, is the C or higher. Our varsity team, the GPA is a 3.6.
Yeah.
So it's kind of expected that soccer is hard workers, and we kind of expect better things.
Yeah. Last year, the boys' middle school had the highest GPA across all the soccer teams.
Yeah.
Okay? So, right? So we have like all A students. So keep your GPAs really high. Let's not get cut here. Okay, expectations. So these are the tips that's going to help you during tryouts, okay? This is what I'm going to measure. How are you going to know if you're going to make the team or not? So you need to analyze, when to attack, when to defend, when to transition. You need to know what to do when, depending on who has the ball. So if you're standing still the whole time, then that's not what you're supposed to do when the ball is moving around. You need to align with other players. So if you go to tryouts and you say, I don't know anybody here, right? What should your job be? Yeah, get to know them, right? Because then no one's going to pass you the ball because nobody knows you. So your job is to know everybody's name so you can be part of the team, okay? Respond to visual cues. Execute with physical ability. So demonstrate physical awareness. Demonstrate coordination in your movements. We're going to do a beep test this year for tryouts. A beep test, and you can go to my YouTube channel. You can see it if you have never heard of it. But it's an endurance test where you run 20 yards back and forth to see how long you last. There is a minimum number. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you don't pass that number, then automatically you're not going to join the team. Okay, so that's just an endurance test. You need to have endurance to play soccer. Take initiative and be proactive. Make a conscious effort to attack and defend. So if you're like all you like to do is dribble and shoot, and you never like to defend, I'll pay attention to that. If all you do is defend and never attack, I'll pay attention to that. Try to find solutions to problems and create opportunities. So if you do the same exact move every single time, right, is that being creative? No, so you gotta mix it in. Demonstrate focus, desire to score goals and stop goals, and bravery, right? Take someone one-on-one. Like have a little courage when you're out there. Execute with optimal technical ability. Demonstrate comfort with the ball. Demonstrate proficiency. So we're going to do 1v1s. We're going to see how good you are, how you receive the ball, how you pass the ball. Stay engaged throughout the game. So if you're talking about Pokemon, when I'm trying to explain something, right, that's not what I'm looking for. Deliver on agreements. So if I say do this, you need to do that. Reflect on your own performance. Be adaptable, flexible, and articulate your own learning needs. So some things I measured. So this is secret, okay? The first time I'm ever putting this on the screen. So I'm gonna look for what happens after you get the ball. And after you get the ball, three things are going to happen. You're going to pass, you're going to shoot, or it's going to be a turnover. All right? That's the only possibility that happens after you touch the ball. So I'm going to watch for that, okay? The beep test I talked about, we're going to measure your basic soccer skills. So this is the core minimum to make the team. Can you dribble? Can you shoot? Can you pass? Can you defend? And then above that, so after you're fighting for a spot on the team, right? Then you're fighting for a spot to actually start, right? So there's a ranking in the players. Then we measure your soccer IQ, your creativity, your positioning, communication, right? If you're the player that never says one word at all, right? That's low communication. And then beast mode, okay? Beast mode, I just made that up. Beast mode is you're nice, you straight A student, right? You say yes, sir. But when you get on the field, I need this other version of you. that you're aggressive, you're going full speed, not to be mean, but you're fighting for every ball, okay? So that's beast mode. If you guys were here earlier, you saw the video of Xavier, right? He just trucked another player, and the other player just felt like a paperweight. So turn beast mode on when you're playing. Don't be reserved. Okay, so I'm going to ask you basic things like this. Those of you who have played before, you should know this already. Those of you who haven't, you need to know this. And when I say fullback, when I say center back, when I say, hey, go play on the wing, you should know what those terms mean. So know that, okay? And if you don't know that, there's lots of videos on that. If you need more videos on this, let me know. But there's basic terms that you need to be familiar with. So if I say go play number 2, that means, right.
I was gonna say, so last year, obviously, like David says, to be successful in soccer, not only do you have to have the physical skills, but you also have the IQ, intelligence. Our job as coaches are gonna to help you improve both of those when you make the team. And so, one of the things that I did last year is there may be some of you guys that, don't quite know what the roles and responsibilities are for each of those positions. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I did last year, and I'm working on updating it this year, is I put together, basically it's a PowerPoint slide, and what it does is it'll actually go through not only our common formations that we normally do, but also it looks at each of the positions and what your roles and responsibilities are, not only as an attacker, but also as a defender. So I'm working on updating that.
Yeah,
and then
we'll send that out.
Whenever I get it done, then we'll go ahead and post that up on the Sports U app, so that before tryouts, you guys can take a look at that, so that coming into the tryouts, you'll already kind of know what are you supposed to do. Like if we say, hey, during tryouts, I need you to go be a fullback, or I need you to go be a attacking midfielder. You'll already kind of know where you are supposed to be as far as position, as well as what your role is in the context of the gameplay.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll send that out. It's good detail. Those new players or even returning players, if you say I'm only going to play left wing, that's the only position I play, and I have like 2 other left wings in front of you, right? Then you're forcing yourself to not play. Okay? So you need to be able to play any position on the field.
How many goalkeepers we have in here? I know you.
1. All right.
Any others? Oh, you gotta raise your hand real high. So we have a goalkeeper coach that we have on staff now that'll be working with all the goalkeepers, through middle school through all the way through varsity. So we'll actually be able to have some dedicated goalkeeper training. So if you're interested in being a keeper, come see Coach David and I. We'll be able to get you the information.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's we have a nationally licensed keeper coach that will be coming in and working with all of our goalkeepers from varsity down to middle school, boys and girls. So they will break off from practice and go to a keeper practice and get some excellent training. The one thing I want to point out on this slide is that is the same formation that they will play on JV, and that is the same formation that they will play on varsity. So it's important that we have great coaches now teaching this, because our JV coaches, our varsity coaches, we expect you to already know this by the time you get up there, because we're running the same system.
Okay, secrets to success. Again, I've never put this on paper before, but I kind of learned this over the summer, okay? I studied lots of coaches, lots of players that are going to college, things like that. It's a secret, but it's not really a secret. You see some kids some kids are like really stand out on top of from other kids. Like, oh man, his dad must be messy, right? No, right? That's not what it is. The secret is you have to have your own self-motivated to train by yourself, okay? If you're not doing speed, strength, agility training on your own, then you're not going to be like the top players. The top players, okay, 6th, 7th graders, wake up at 5:30 and train on their own, okay? And I don't expect everybody to do that, but I'm just telling you some people do. So when you say, hey, why is everybody better than me, right? it shouldn't be a surprise. So those kids that you see that are doing really good, it's because they wake up at 5 in the morning, because they practice 6, 7 days a week.
Is that
Okay?
we only get an hour and 45 minutes a day with you guys?
Yeah, I only get an hour and 45 with you.
Something like that.
There's other people doing more. You can supplement this with additional training is the point. But that has to come from you, because your mom and dad isn't going to tell you, hey, let's go run outside, right? What you're going to say is, let me go play Fortnite instead, right? So it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too rainy, right? It's too light, it's too dark. So you can make excuses all you want, but I'm telling you the secret, the guys who go professional, they do this on their own, self-motivated. Second, you have to play. So all the coaches, the top coaches at the highest levels, the kids have to play soccer, okay? You have to touch the ball at least 1,000 times a day. You have to be touching the ball. And if that's not happening to you, you're not doing that, you're setting yourself below the average, okay? So average player, so the pros are touching 2,000 and more a day, but at least 1,000, right? The JV, if you're going to play JV and varsity, if you have higher hopes than middle school, that's like a minimum to join JV and varsity, okay? So start practicing now on playing soccer. So what happens if, like, hey, I have no one to play with? What do? No one wants to play with me.
Call Coach David.
Call me, I'll play with you. No, you can. There's drills you can do on your own, right? Every now and then you'll see me post, hey, pick up soccer, right? Come and join and play. If you have your own club team, that's fine, that's perfect. Call friends. You guys call your friends and have Fortnite game days, right? Why don't you have soccer play dates? No one's stopping you. All right, so those are the secrets. If you find ways to play soccer and you're doing individual training, it's going to take you to another level. Soccer schedule, like I said, 3:15 to 5. This is new, not like last year, 3:30. All right, we're gonna get those 15 minutes. I don't like people just sitting around, eating crackers, eating candy, just goofing around. At 3:15 we start. Okay. If we have a game, we're not gonna do practice that day. Pay attention to the app. I can cancel practice at any time. So the last 3 years, I have not had to cancel practice because I'm not available. Okay. So, but there always could be that one scenario. So pay attention to the app.
I will say though, a lot of times when it's raining, there are
Yeah.
times that we will cancel practice, but we try to utilize as much time as we can, because especially this season, because our schedule is so condensed compared to years past. So when it rains, we may actually go
Indoors.
here, like in the media center, or maybe try to find a place like in the gym, do futsal, study film. So we try to do as much as we can, even when it's raining.
Yeah, that's a change. Last year, the season ended in January. Now it finishes early December. So we don't have time to stretch things out. So it's quick. As Coach said, we watch videos too, so you can learn. As Coach also mentioned, we'll have a dedicated goalkeeper coach for goalkeepers on certain game day practice days. Game day schedule, all our games are going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, obviously with exceptions, like if it rains or something, and of course in playoffs. Players.
There will be one exception to that possibly that we're working on.
Okay.
And that is the North Bayhaven versus Bayhaven game in December. We're trying to play that at 2 o'clock and dismiss the school so that the school can come to the game. So it'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff, and the entire school will be out there watching.
Everybody's going to watch you play. That's fun. All right. You're going to say hi to your fans, ESPN, Ocho, all that stuff.
Yes.
All right. So players will be taken to the game by bus. So you're going to leave school early. You're going to miss, what period are you going to miss? You're going to miss 5th period. They'll take you to the school, and then we'll play games. Yellow and bold and new, pick up your kids at the game. All right. The bus is going to leave, right? So you have to go pick up your kid. All right. When you pick up your kid, just acknowledge with one of the coaches that he's ready to be picked up. Waivers.
So it's going through the legal process right now to get the waivers approved. They're transportation waivers, and in county is not as big of a problem as outside the county that we're working on for varsity and JV. But there'll be paperwork that you would have to sign as the parent of the student. If you're letting your child go with someone else, that person also has to sign a waiver that they're accepting responsibility. More to follow on that as the lawyers attack it.
Yeah. So there will be ways for you guys to carpool and make it work, but
Yes.
you're going to have to sign papers. You can wear your school uniform during game days, so that's the same. Everything via the app. Once you make the team, then we're gonna put you in a different app that's just for the people who made the team.
Not app, channel.
Channel,
Same
sorry.
app.
Same app, a new channel. And by the way, so everyone who made the team last year, after today, I'm gonna boot everyone off. All right, and then you get invited again.
I'm not sure I understand.
I'm gonna boot everyone off. All right. So soccer fees. Soccer fees. All right. Soccer fees are going to be less than last year, which is good. Last year the fees were $350, so it's going to be less than that. We don't know exactly because it's due to all the fundraising, the events that are going on, and you guys are doing fundraising and things like that. And so that's going to be. We expect it to be low. We don't have an estimate, right? But just low prices. Fees are going to be due before our first game, so before October 25. Start saving up your money. That stuff, right? Kids, save your birthday money. All players will receive 2 to 3 practice jerseys. We'll have so what does your money give you? Practice jerseys, end of the year banquet, fees to cover the bus fees, ref fields, training gear, awards, things like that. Something new we're introducing this year is called Lunch with Coach. So once a month, I'm gonna come to school and eat lunch with all the players and bring them food, like Chick-fil-A or something. So we're gonna have a team building activity. So that'll be cool. All uniforms will be purchased by each player. So from now on, whatever you're gonna buy your own uniform and you get to keep it. Okay, so that's good. You don't have to wear used clothes from somebody else. So you get to keep it, short sock, and that's what it looks like. Okay, any questions?
And that'll carry
That's
through.
the same uniform for middle school, JV, and varsity.
Yeah, so if you're a 6th grader, you're lucky because we're gonna use that for like 2-3 years.
At least.
So you can use the same as long as you don't grow that much. Yeah. All right. This is the schedule for our games. So you can kind of get an idea, subject to change, but you can see what schools we play, right? University Academy, Breakfast Point, Rutherford, Tyndall, all the different schools. We're going to need volunteers once we get on the team. We'll need someone to help with gate coordinator. This is the person that kind of collects tickets for the games. We're going to need a volunteer for event planners. So these are the people who do the end of the year banquet, or I like to have at least one off-field activity with the kids, so that the event planners will help with that. They'll help me with the lunch with coach day as well. So we'll need volunteers for that. We'll need volunteers for game day. So just someone that brings the water. Make sure you have tent, first aid kit. Some kid gets hurt. I need someone that's a floater, basically doing all the work there just on game days. Fundraiser coordinator. So this person will be directly working with Jason Cole to do any team communication that requires any fundraising events. Coach's expectations. So my philosophy is that I will treat all the players as they were my own for those brief hours that I get them. I will extend my core values of integrity, courage, commitment, and respect to the players so that they can learn other behaviors along soccer that they can carry into adulthood, right? So I don't just want to coach soccer. I'm not as good coach as I can mentor them, all right? So I want you guys to be leaders one day, and you guys are going to be coaches and players one day. So I believe in developing your character first, okay? So character has to be there. That is better than athletics, academics, and electronics, all right? And once you give kids electronics, now you have to fight, right? You have to fight against all of that. So some of you probably already have access to electronics. Character has to come first. You're not going to play soccer forever, right? But you are going to be a human forever. So you, not forever, but you know what I mean, right? It's going to continue after that. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So yes, we're going to win. Yes, we're going to lose. Okay, but we can learn from success and failures. All right, it doesn't mean you can't learn from failures. High expectations, and this is different than North Bay Haven. Okay, North Bay Haven tells you high expectations, high achievement. Not for me. For me, is high expectations, high personal standards. You have to have high personal standards because I can expect everything from you, but if you don't have standards, it's not going to materialize. So you need to do that. You need to, parents work with your kids on what is high personal standard means. Okay? If you need help with that, talk to Jason Cole. If you believe boys will be boys, all right, we're not going to get along that good. I'm just saying that up front. All right? I don't think boys will be boys, right? It's what we invest in them. That's what they become. So I don't tolerate boys will be boys mentality. What should you expect from me? I'm not going to read through all of these, but basically fair play, no cursing whatsoever, okay? Good behavior, positive control, things like that. What should I expect from the parents? To know what soccer is, okay? Focus on nutrition, right? Don't feed your kids pizza before the game. Don't give them Cokes and stuff like that. Don't buy them candy, things like that. Like nutrition, right? And everything they need to do. Take them to practices, things like that. And the last one, I had to add that. All right, the last bullet. All right. I like critical feedback. I like feedback, but there's a 24-hour wait period now, okay? So if you have feedback, just wait 24 hours and then come get me, all right? But not during the game, not on game days. Yes? All right. What I expect from the players. So, you guys can kind of read that, but it's respectful. Listen to the coach and obey. Come prepared, positive attitude. If you think we're going to lose, all right, then you're not going to play. Because why would I put players on the field that are going to think we're going to lose, right? So your mentality has to remain positive the whole time. You're focused. You're not talking about video games, things like that. You're focused on soccer. You keep your hands to yourself. You get along with your teammates. And if you see something wrong, you tell me right away. If you don't tell me, then I could miss it, right? But I think it's gonna be a good environment if we kind of snuff that out really quick, okay? Because I don't know if you guys know, the middle schoolers, they're starting to get in that age where, right? All right. They start forming little groups and stuff like that. All right. And I think that's my last slide. Are there any questions? Yes, it's good. I'm going to post it, and then there's also a video recording, so you can watch it if you don't like to read. And any parents that missed it, yes.
Just a couple questions about the potential for the two teams. Will the schedule for gameplay be the same for the B team? So
No.
both teams will travel to the.
No, there'll be less games for the B team. The fees will be less. You will not have to buy uniforms. We understand. We won't know until all the other schools have their tryouts too, exactly how many teams there are. So we're going to do the best we can, but we want to get them on the field practicing as much as possible.
And speaking of, depending on field availability as well as ref availability, because ref availability is really hard to come by around here. They're, playing on Saturdays for like the B team is not off the table.
Right.
So unfortunately, that's about the best we could do. The schedule hasn't come out yet. It also depends on how many people try out and how many people make the team. But just know that there could be a possibility that there might have to be games on Saturdays.
And just know I'm going to get as many games as I possibly can. That's my goal. I want them out on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. Sounds like it's a lot cheaper to be on the B team. Any other questions?
I do have
Yes.
a question. We are on a trouble team. We play 2 leagues. If he makes a team, which one should be his priority? School or his trouble team?
So I can answer that one. So since I know you, so you know, you can talk to your your individual coach for the travel teams, but I will say that the majority of them are perfectly fine with you going to the middle school practices and not going to the travel team. So if you want to go to both, my son did both. We got done here, and then I took him all the way out to Roots. It makes for a very long day, and they're really exhausted, but they're completely okay with because they know at this age the primary focus a lot of times is middle school and high school, and so in a way that's kind of what they're kind of gearing and preparing some of these kids for. So, but you can talk to your coach just to make sure it's okay, but
It depends on.
it's never been a problem.
It depends on your kids. If your kid's already doing something, if your kid is doing what's the Odyssey of the Mind and all these other activities, right? Talk to them, right? Because you can't do everything.
Yeah.
So prioritize what's more important to them. What do you want? And then they can decide what's more important to them. Some kids can handle more responsibilities, right? Like Benjamin Paul. But other kids, like they're not going to finish their home. It takes them 3 hours to do their homework, right? So I wouldn't put them on any sport. Finish your homework first.
And we're really talking about like a 3-week overlap max, because travel will end at Veterans Weekend. So the first real weekend in November. So it's just a couple weeks that you have to balance that,
Yeah.
but then it's only school after that.
Okay. Sounds good. I got it.
My short answer is school, because I teach the kids commitment, right?
Yes.
So if I teach commitment, I say you can miss whenever you want, right?
Yeah.
So I'd rather you join the other team in that case and do your best over there. All right, any other questions? So we also record videos for all the some practices and games. So if you go to my channel, you can kind of see all the videos from last year. And some kids watch it and learn. So that's a good way to learn, is watch yourself play. What did you do, right? And so that's a really good way to learn from watching.
So I'm really excited about this season, not just for middle school boys, for all of them. We are now the biggest program in the school. So we have more kids playing soccer than any other sport. Half of those FHSAA trophies in there, those belong to soccer. We've been around for 12 years, 14 years, and we have 8 district championships and a couple regionals. So I'm excited. We have great coaches. We have great players. It's a great program. And I'm really excited for this season. Get the B team, get more kids out on the field, and go beat some county teams and bring home a county championship.
Everybody good? All right. No, that's all we had. Go buy everything on the table must go. Otherwise, Jason has to carry it home, and he doesn't want to do that. Huh?